And they saw that I wasn't just some guy there for an interview. I was actually like an active artist, and I was there as part of the team, and I was looking out for them and helping them do their job as well. Because of that, he pulled me aside and he goes, "Look, I'll do that interview with you." Welcome to another episode of Bench Talk. I'm your host, Tom Gerrard. This week I've got a bit of a different episode. We are celebrating the 200th episode and 9 years of the podcast. So, I'm sitting here with my co-host, Claire Bradshaw from the Art Career Academy, and we're going to just go on a trip down memory lane and just sort of reflect on the past 9 years of this podcast and the past 200 episodes. Thanks for coming in again, Claire. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here, and great to be here at a very, I suppose, auspicious moment. It's very exciting to have been doing the podcast for so long and to have reached the 200th episode. It's quite a rare thing in podcast world.
I saw a stat the other day that only 2.5% of podcasts make it to the 200th episode. So I'm very honoured to be in that small percentage.
Yeah.
But it's, it's been a big journey over the last 9 years. And it's like, I feel that I've changed so much as a person, and I feel that this podcast has played a really big role in that. And also, I've built my art career over that time as well, and just learnt so much, and, really, I guess, pursued my dreams. And here we are now, 9 years down the track, sitting here still doing the podcast and still getting so much out of it. And it's such a big part of my life. So, I just thought we'd take this time to just have a little chat about it and have a bit of to and fro.
Yeah. So this episode is all about kind of celebrating and reflecting on the last 9 years and giving you a bit of an insight into, how Tom has really built this podcast over time and how it's evolved and changed and all the many gifts that have occurred along the way. And, one of the kind of key things around this is that, a lot of people say that they want to create a podcast or they want to write a book or, have an exhibition or whatever it is. And it's through taking action before you actually feel ready that actually creates the momentum, and things evolve and change over time. But if you never made a start in the first instance, then you never really get to grow and evolve and see where something can really take you. So we want to take you on the journey that Tom's really been on with this podcast. So Tom, we are going to go back to really 9 years ago, and your origin story with the podcast. So tell us, where did the idea originate from to start a podcast?
At the time, I was working in graphic design, and I was living in Barcelona and would spend my days with headphones in, sitting at a desk in an agency, and just listen to podcasts all the time. And even though I was working in graphic design, I was really obsessed with building my own art career and wanting to pursue that. And I was looking for all these art podcasts that just didn't seem to really exist. Like, the only art ones I could find, mind you, this was 2016. Well, this would have been about 2015 then, when I was really had the idea to do it. And there just wasn't much out there. There was some art history ones, and there was some ones where you could find interviews with big gallery curators and things like that. But I wanted to hear from the artists, and there just didn't seem to be anything like that out there. I remember that we were on a camping trip in Catalonia, and I said to you, "I'm going to start a podcast," and you laughed at me.
I did.
Because it's just it was a weird thing, I'd never spoken into a microphone before. I had never put myself out there in that way. I'd never done an interview. Well, I'd been interviewed by people, but I'd never done anything like this. And I guess it just seemed out of character for me. But yet I had this yearning to do it. And also this dream I had for pursuing my own art career. I thought, well, this is like a great way for me to learn how to do it if I'm interviewing other people who are doing that, who are full-time artists. And that was my like driving force really. And I also remember I didn't know anything about equipment. Like I remember the first episodes, the first probably 5 episodes I recorded. My dad gave me a little dictaphone microphone that he used in business meetings just to take notes, and he gave me that, and I plugged it into an iPad and used the voice memo app, and that's how I recorded them because I just didn't know really what I was doing. I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore, But it was just one of those things. It's like I could like wait and have all the equipment and have everything perfect, but or I could just get started and get moving, and that's what I chose to do. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're so glad that you did, like, because that's the thing when you're doing something new, there's so much to learn, and then the brain can kind of have all of these reasons why you're not ready yet, whether it's like, oh, I don't have the right equipment, or, or I'm not that confident yet, and these types of things. But actually, it's only through actually doing the thing that you build up the confidence, that you evolve your equipment and all of these things over time, which is exactly what has happened with you, and if you think back to those first 5-10 episodes, I'm sure you kind of like would cringe now, but if you hadn't have started then we wouldn't be here today.
Exactly. And it's become a big part of my life as well. Like I've learned so much through doing it. Just having the confidence to be able to speak into the microphone or approach a stranger and have a conversation with them and things like that. It's benefited me in so many ways.
Yeah, so true. And it doesn't mean that when you decide to do something that all the fear goes away, right?
No, I still get nervous.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Okay, so in terms of like the last 9 years of running this podcast, what have you personally received from running it?
Oh, so much. I guess there's all the things like the confidence that we we're just talking about, but also I've met so many friends through doing the podcast, and it's given me an opportunity to say, approach people who I admire, and instead of saying, "Hey, can we grab a coffee or something?" like to say, can I interview you?" It means I get like an hour of their time, and we actually build a relationship through doing that. And there's a lot of I build a better connection like doing interviews in person. But there's been so many people I've interviewed that I've never met before, and then looked at the relationship I've got with them now and thinking, hang on, this all started from doing the podcast, and there's other times I've been on like camping trips with friends and stuff, and it's like, hang on, I met these people through doing the podcast, and it's given me a lot in that way. And also it's been a really good door opener for me. Like I've taken it on the road when I've gone traveling and, connected with a lot of people through having a podcast and saying, can I come and interview you? And then, they'll open up their house or their studio or their gallery or whoever they are within the art world. And it's really helped me meet more people and build connection. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. And you said that like the spark behind the podcast initially was because you were wanting to you noticed that there wasn't anything existing out there that was interviewing artists and things like that, and you had a desire to learn more about how people were building their art careers, and so you decided to create the thing that you were looking for yourself, which is always an incredible way to start something anyway. But then also you realized pretty quick that actually this wasn't just for yourself. This was also serving other people and other people who were in a similar position to you, who were also wanting to start their own podcast. Tell us a little bit about the type of messages that you've received over time with regards to that.
Yeah, I had I wanted to really share the information with as many people as possible because I've never felt threatened by having more artists around. Like I think the more the merrier. We all work together and we all build together. And so I didn't want to sort of keep all this information for myself. And I wanted to share it. And when in the early days of the podcast, as we were saying, there wasn't really much out there like this. Like once I got going, more and more started popping up. And but I felt that the word spread pretty quickly about the podcast, and I started hearing back from a lot of people on would email me or contact me via social media, or even chat to me at exhibition openings and art events. And they're all saying that they're getting so much out of it, and that there's been no like guidebook for them or any set of rules to follow as far as building an art career. And it's just really good to see who these people turned out to be going forward as the years ticked over and they continued to grow their career. And to think that the podcast has assisted so many people in that way is it's really rewarding for me, because I built my own art career off the back of the knowledge that I learned from producing the podcast. And, I thought, am I getting the most out of it because I'm the one doing the interviews and I'm the one building connections? But to know that it was having a knock-on effect and there was this like cause and effect happening throughout the airwaves, it's really rewarding. And it's, sometimes a lot of energy goes into helping people, and I felt that this was a way to help many people in a very light manner. What the workload wasn't too big. The way I've always set up this podcast is I didn't want it to run my life. I wanted it to be like, easy and flowy and more like a social catch up than anything else.
Yeah. And you've received messages from people saying that they went full time with their art careers as a result of listening to your podcast.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I've had lots of people say that,
so cool.
And they've used that as a blueprint. For myself, I when I started, I was a graphic designer, and I'd say by about episode 20, I'd quit my job and gone full time. It all happened at the same time as a large solo show, and the solo show went well. And then that sort of helped finance it, but I haven't looked back. It's and I remember when I first started episode 1, I felt so far away from being in that position. But then, by episode 20, which was only a few months down the track, really, because I was doing one a week when I first started, and it was just great to like learn these lessons from other artists. A lot of them were very encouraging. There wasn't that much like directly being taught like tricks or tips. A lot of people were just saying, just go for it. I'm pretty sure that you've got this, Tom. So it was more just a vote of confidence and motivation to head down that path.
Yeah. Which is a big part of it, and it's something that we talk about a lot in Art Career Academy. There's the practical side, there's the mindset side, but then there's also the being around expanders, being around people who are further along the journey than you, who give you the confidence to know that, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. And that's a huge part of it, right? Because you could be the best artist in the world. I mean, what does that really mean? But you could have tons of experience, have all the technical skills, all of those types of things. But if you are not surrounding yourself with people who are either further along the journey than you, or people who are really going for it, then it can be hard to build the confidence to know that this is an even possibility for you, and particularly if most of your friends and family are working in corporate or different kind of safer kind of industries, and don't really understand what it's like to be an artist and to follow your creative dreams.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So good. All right. So I love all of that. So you were a graphic designer, started the podcast, and then after about episode 20 had gone full time with your art career. And a huge part of that was the result of running the podcast, learning from other people who were already along the path and doing it anyway. So good. All right, so in terms of the interviews that you have done, tell us a little bit more about, who you've interviewed. Do you do them all in person? Do you do them remotely? Tell us a little bit more around that.
Yeah, the first year or so, a lot of them were all done in person. I just felt more comfortable doing that. And there was, being based in Melbourne, there was so many artists around to interview. It's just never runs out. It's like this unlimited resource of artists in this city. It's great. And but then I realized that I wanted to expand my reach and also get a bit more of an international audience going. So I started just contacting artists who I admired internationally and started using, programs like Skype back in the day was what I was doing a lot of them on, and Zoom and things like that. It's and that's been really good for me, and the podcast as well. It's just been great to touch base with artists all over the world. And also, for instance, for a while I was interviewing a lot of Scandinavian artists. I don't know why, I was just drawn to them. I love a lot of art from over that part of the world. And and still to this day, the podcast has got a very big Scandinavian following. So hello to all the Scandinavian listeners out there. Thanks for tuning in.
I love that. And I think, that's something that's so exciting and powerful about the times that we're living in the fact that there's so much technology now that gives us this opportunity to connect with people all over the world. And it's, the same with the Art Career Academy. We have students from all over the world as well, because we run all of our sessions online. So that gives us the opportunity to connect. And, our students, a lot of them are being, become friends with one another, and they're booking in trips, whether it's within Australia or overseas, to go see each other, to learn more from each other's practices and connect with different networks and things like that. And I think that's such an incredible opportunity that we have today that wasn't existing many years ago.
Totally, because I believe that the art world that we all exist in it's an art world. It's not like city by city. Like there are localized scenes within cities, but really, if you speak to an artist on the other side of the world, usually your values are aligned, and you're both motivated, and you're into creating artwork. It's a very universal language.
Yeah, for sure. So Bench Talk essentially led to you then starting to build your art career. It also influenced and had a positive impact on other people as they were looking to build their careers, or they were in the process of building their careers. And then tell us a little bit more about how Bench Talk has then led in towards the Art Career Academy.
Yeah, I as we were saying before, I had a lot of people contacting me saying that they've built their art career, but I also had a lot of people asking me how to build their art career. And I was doing my best to get back to as many people in as much detail as possible, but it started to become a bit repetitive and exhausting. And there's just so much information that you could give people. And I found this was happening via social media, also in my emails, and also at art events and exhibition openings and things like that. And I thought, you know what, the answer to this is actually 10 hours long. And it's this never ending conversation that you could really have about this subject. So I thought it actually works better to give people the full answer and create a program out of it. And that's what we did over COVID time. We sat down and got lots of post-it notes out and started really thinking about all the bits and pieces that of information that needs to be shared in order for someone to build an art career. And it was a lot of fun to sort of think about it in this way and compartmentalize everything, because it's just such a broad subject, and there's it's not an answer that you can really give in a one paragraph email or a 5-10 minute conversation.
100%. I know so many people were like, so how do I build an art career? Go, give me the answer in 5 minutes. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, there's no silver bullet.
No.
But there's lots of best practices and mindset and lots of things, all the things we talk about in the Art Career Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I love that. And isn't it interesting? You started Bench Talk 9 years ago, and we couldn't have predicted that 9 years later that you'd still be running it, would be on YouTube. You would have built a full art career and have been doing that for the last 9 years. And also we would have created the Art Career Academy. It's just amazing what can be created when you just take action before you're ready.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that's
The
one of the
gift that
key
keeps
ones.
on giving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, before we finish up, I would love you to tell us about some of your favorite episodes, or I suppose most interesting episodes that you've done on the podcast over the last sort of 8-9 years.
I guess there's two that come to mind. Like the first one was when I interviewed Shepard Fairey. I've been a fan of his artwork for years, like years and years. And he was in Sydney for the big art festival there. And he was painting a big mural, and he had an exhibition and all that, and he did a talk. So I thought, oh, great, like this is a good opportunity to see if I can get an interview with him. And there was someone who was organising everything. I won't mention any names. And they said, yeah, I've got it all lined up, fly up to Sydney and come and interview him. And so I was there, flew up there, had my microphone and everything with me. And then I spoke to Shepard the day before and said, oh, yeah, I'm going to be interviewing you tomorrow. And he said, no, I'm not doing any interviews. And I said, no, I've just flown up from Melbourne. I've come here to interview. I've been told that it's all lined up. He goes, it's the first I've heard. And he said, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. And I was a bit gutted, really. And I thought, oh, well, I'm here. I'll see if I can still get the interview. And I ended up becoming good friends with his assistants, and also like Pete, because I was already in with all the artists and the organisers. I was just in the mix a lot more, and I ended up going out with Shepard and his team and helping him put up paste ups, and I was painting a lot on the streets as well and doing my own stuff. And through doing that, I sort of I earned my stripes a bit, and they saw that I wasn't just some guy there for an interview. I was actually like an active artist, and I was there as part of the team, and I was looking out for them and helping them do their job as well. And because of that, he pulled me aside and he goes, "Look, I'll do that interview with you. Come to my hotel room this afternoon, and we'll tee it all up." Now, I was a little bit nervous, and it wasn't my best interview or anything like that, but I was really proud of sort of creating that opportunity and making it happen, because when he first said no, I was devastated. I'd spent a lot of money to go up there and be there, and just felt like I was being cast aside. And on the other side of that interview, I felt it was really rewarding for me. But that was a big one for me. And another one was when I interviewed Cleon Peterson. It was one of those occasions where I just thought, you know what, I'm going to send a message to him and see what comes back, because I love his artwork. He's one of my favourite artists, and why not? Ask a question. You might get a no, but if you get a yes, like, awesome. And he came through with a yes, and had a really good chat with him. And I felt, unlike the interview with Shepard, I felt a bit out of balance and a bit nervous. Whereas when I interviewed Cleon Peterson, I felt really comfortable, and that we met each other as equals and had a really good chat. And then a couple of years later, I was over in LA, and he invited me over to his house, and we hung out, and he did drawings all in my sketchbooks and stuff like that. It was great to meet him, and he showed me his studio and his house, which unfortunately burnt down last year in the fires in LA. And just a real honor to experience all that. And that all came through the podcast.
Yeah, amazing. What an incredible, 200 episodes of growth and learning and connecting and networking and building community and all of the incredible things that have come from this podcast. So congratulations on creating what you've created. And I'm sure so many people listening to this would agree that it's been an absolute gift to the community.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just want to say thanks as well to, I know a lot of listeners out there have said they've been listening since day one, and I just really want to appreciate you and also all the new listeners and just everyone who tunes in. Without you guys, this wouldn't happen. And I just want to really send my gratitude out to all of you.
Yeah. So I think the final little piece that I wanted to say here is to anyone who's listening and has followed the journey of Bench Talk over the last 8-9 years, know that if there's something that you're wanting to achieve, something that you're wanting to grow, something that you have a vision for, know that you can create that. You wouldn't have that vision if you weren't meant to create that. You may not feel ready, but the key is to take the action before you do feel ready, and you will start to feel ready as you are taking the action.
Yeah, as has been said a lot on this podcast, leap and the net will appear.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. All right, Claire, well thanks for taking the time to sit down and have a chat. Was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, that is perfect. Enjoyed to be here.
Well, thanks for thanks for taking the time to have a chat, and thanks all of you for tuning in, and stay tuned for many, many more episodes to come.
Hey artist, it's Claire here from the Art Career Academy. If you've been creating for years and you know it's time to go all in on your art career, then Tom and I are here to support you. If you're ready to grow your visibility, build more consistent income, and step fully into life as a professional artist, that's exactly what we help with. Our signature program, Going Pro, is designed for artists who are ready to up-level. We support you with the clarity, confidence, and a solid plan to turn your creative practice into a thriving career, without the burnout or second-guessing every move. At the Art Career Academy, we're all about raising up the art community and showing what's possible when artists back themselves. So to get started, grab our free Creative Cashflow cheat sheet. It's packed with 20 tried and tested ways to make an income from your art. Head to artcareeracademy.com to download it now. Okay, let's get back to the episode.